Cell theory states the following: that all living things are composed of cells. Cells are the basic units of structure and function in living things, and new cells are produced from existing cells. So, today, I will walk you through the anatomy of a plant cell. But first, let me show you some things that are not in plant cells, and some things that are only found in plant cells. The cell wall is a cell part that is only found in the plant cell. It is located outside the cell membrane and provides plant cells with structural support and protection, in addition to acting as a filtering mechanism. Chloroplast is a plant cell part that is only found in the plant cell as well. Chloroplast is responsible for capturing light energy, storing it in energy-storing molecules, and uses it in the process called photosynthesis to make organic molecules and free oxygen from carbon dioxide and water. Chloroplasts are green because they contain the chlorophyll pigment. Next, we have centrioles. A centriole is a cell part only found in animal cells and is absent in most plant cells and most fungi. Centrioles are active during mitosis of a cell, which is when a cell separates the chromosomes in its cell nucleus into two identical sets into separate nuclei. In this process, the centrioles help move and organize the chromosomes of a cell. Next is the lysosome. The lysosome is also only found in animal cells. The main purpose and function of a lysosome is to digest food and also digest broken cell organelles. The cell membrane is a thin, flexible barrier that surrounds a cell. A cell membrane protects the cell while still allowing the cell to interact with its surroundings. The cell membrane also has the ability to regulate what can and cannot enter or exit a cell, thus facilitating the materials needed for the survival of a cell. In the center of the cell is the nucleus. The primary function of the nucleus is to control gene expression and mediate the replication of DNA during the cell cycle. The nucleus provides a site for genetic transcription that is segregated from the location in the cytoplasm, allowing levels of gene regulation that are not available to prokaryotes. In the center of the nucleus is a nucleolus. The nucleolus is responsible for the beginning steps of ribosomes production. Cytoplasm is a gel-like substance residing within the cell. The main function of cytoplasm is to hold all the cell's internal organelles outside the nucleus of the cell. Chromatin is a combination of DNA and proteins that make up the contents of the nucleus of a cell. The primary functions of chromatin are to package DNA into smaller volumes to fill the cell, to strengthen the DNA to allow mitosis, prevent DNA damage, and to control gene expression and DNA replication. Microtubules are one of the main parts of the cytoskeleton of a cell and are responsible for supporting the cell. The microtubule can grow as long as 25 micrometers, and its job is to help support and shape the cell, and is also involved in cell movement. Also in the cytoskeleton is a microfilament. The microfilament is similar to the microtubule in shape, except for the microtubule is much larger than the microfilament. The microfilament is also involved in supporting the cell and movement of the cell. It is used as sort of a scaffolding for the cell. All around the cell, you will find these little round things that are called ribosomes. There are two types of ribosomes, free and bound ribosomes. Ribosomes that are free can move around the cell about in the cytosol of a cell, but are excluded from the cell nucleus and other cells. When a ribosome begins to synthesize proteins in some organelles, the ribosomes making the proteins can become membrane bound. The main job of ribosomes is to create proteins for the cell. The ribosomes that become membrane bound during protein synthesis are known as bound ribosomes. They are usually bound to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. The rough endoplasmic reticulum is a cell part that is used as a transporter of proteins. The rough ER is stubbed with protein-making ribosomes all along its surface, hence the name rough ER. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is a cell part that is connected to the nuclear envelope. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum is a cell part that has functions in several metabolic processes, including synthesis of lipids and steroids, metabolism of carbohydrates, regulation of calcium concentration, and steroid metabolism. The Golgi apparatus is a cell part of both plant and animal cells that is responsible for modifying, sorting, and packaging macromolecules for cell secretion or use within the cell. So in a sense, the Golgi apparatus will either excrete molecules from the cell or send it somewhere where it can be used within the cell. A vacuole is a membrane-bound organelle found in both plant and animal cells. The main function of a vacuole is to store food and water for the cell to later use. The vesicle is a small bubble within the cell that has a similar job to the vacuole, but also does different things. The main purpose of a vesicle is to transport materials around a cell, such as proteins, instead of storing them. Last is the mitochondria. The mitochondria are the site of cellular respiration, a metabolic process that generates ATP, the main energy source of the cell. Mitochondria use energy from food to make high-energy compounds that the cell can use to power growth, development, and moving of the cell.